Coming up on the Elon Phoenix Weekly.
We take the court with women's basketball.
Learn about a different breed of competitors at Elon.
And find out what athletes do off the field in service projects and internships.
All that and more next on the Elon Phoenix Weekly. Good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Elon Phoenix Weekly. I'm Stephen Normington.
And I'm Tori Baptist. Thanks for joining us on your ESPN2 Local Sports Break.
Athletes are often judged by their statistics, the numbers that showcase their hits, points, yards, and goals.
But as a part of a team, what they do for others is an equally important metric.
I was lucky enough to get a first-hand display of Elon athletes' unparalleled generosity as the softball team rallied around a very important cause.
Hi, I'm Katie Rufo, and you're here at Home Runs for Hope. It's a home run derby that I created this year to benefit cancer. One of the foundations that the money is going to is the Jimmy Fund, which helped my family. My mother's a breast cancer survivor, and my father's currently fighting colon and thyroid cancer. So I wanted to give back to that charity who's helped me throughout the years. And for Alamance, we wanted to give to them because it's this community. They come out and support us, and we should give back to them as much as we can.
You know, there's all kinds of different fundraisers for cancer, and we know the month of October is breast cancer, but we decided, you know, one of our young ladies, Katie Rufo, who's a sophomore, she decided that we wanted to do something for all cancers due to the fact that Katie's family, she's experienced her mother and her father are fighting and have fought cancer. So everybody's affected by this every day, somehow in our lives, probably everybody on this campus, somewhere in this community. It's an awful disease, so one of the things that our girls focus on a lot is giving back. You look around what we have here and the things that the people, the community, the school has given to our program right here, and we feel like that we can take the time and do what we need to do to give back to just different programs and different activities.
It's extremely important for them to raise money as a team for organizations that are close to all the girls' hearts. It's a lot easier to be invested in something when it's important to one particular teammate or a couple of particular teammates. So it's really important for us to support each other and have pride in our program and to raise money for that.
You know, one of the biggest things about these young ladies is we don't actually have to go to them for this. They come to us. So we, you know, in the recruiting process, we're trying to find young people that are really wanting to give back. You know, I think there for a while we lost that in generations of giving back. And now I think it's being taught in the high schools, middle schools, they're starting to do that. So when the young ladies are getting here for us, they're starting to do that a lot more. And it's huge for them to understand that it's not all about them. So of course, when it's not all about you and you're playing a team sport, then it kind of helps build unity and understanding what we're trying to do as a team.
The rules of the home run derby today are it's on a point system. So if you hit the ball over the fence, that's 3 points. If you hit the ball in the deep outfield, that's 2 points. If you hit the ball in the shallow outfield, it's 1 point. But even though you get points for hitting it inside the park, they're still considered outs. So it's not an out if you hit it out of the park.
I think it's like a bonding experience, and then it's for a good cause, and then we all come together and have a good time. Well, people going to shag balls and catching and running, and then Grace announcing. She's funny.
Again, folks, there's a raffle going on. You get a chance to win $10,000. All you gotta do is purchase a raffle ticket for $20. We got a lovely bake sale right behind home plate. Lots of goodies, some awesome ice cream, cupcake, magical things Allie Burdette made. I don't really know what they are, but they look amazing.
Like, they're out here and they're all working together to make this thing go. They all had different job opportunities to do different things, like setting up the field, taking down the field, chasing balls, getting it out into the public so everybody knew that we were doing this. So everybody's really had a hand in this, and so they're finding out that for this to be successful for us, everybody has to play a role, and everybody has to do that, the same as on game day. Everybody has a role, and to be successful for us as a team, we all have to be able to do that.
The event was a hit as Katie and her teammates' efforts raised over $1,000 for the ARMC Charitable and Jimmy Fund Foundations.
Athletes support the community and they also encourage each other. The Elon cheerleading team is an essential part of game day, and the squad works hard to put on the best show possible.
When I say college football, cheerleading might not be the first thing that comes to mind. However, cheerleading is a staple to game day, and the Elon Cheer Squad knows that and puts the time in to make sure their shows are the best they can be.
Well, we start preparing for football season before school starts. So we went to cheerleading camp this year at Myrtle Beach at the NCA college camp. And then we practice every Tuesday and Thursday for 3 hours, and we practice every Saturday before games to make sure that everything's fine-tuned and perfected.
We wake up first thing in the morning, we have practice before our actual games, and then we get dressed, we do our makeup, we do our hair, and we go out there. And I feel like, we always tell our girls, as cheerleaders, one must always be optimistic.
Our days on Saturdays start very early. We're practicing, we do run-throughs with the band, it's an extensive experience, but it's so worth it.
This team holds themselves to the same standards as any other athletic team. That includes setting goals for yourselves and making sure you improve week to week. And Coach Van Fleet and her captains make sure to commit themselves to those standards.
That we're clean and we're seamless, and that everybody that natural energy is just seeping through their pores.
I'd say to try to keep a positive mindset. It's really easy to criticize the first thing that goes wrong.
I just want to see everybody getting better every single day. I have 2 captains on my all-girl team and 2 captains on the co-ed team, and if it weren't for them, practices would not be able to happen. But generally the captains are who's leading the practices, and I think it's a great opportunity for them to learn how to lead, because that's such an important quality to have for the rest of your life, especially looking at careers.
The girls really look up to you. Not only do I want to be there for them as a cheerleading captain, but I want to be there, for them in their life. I want to mentor them and help them become the person they're going to become in the future.
And I think it's great for the team to be led by a peer instead of an outsider and an adult and someone that's coming into Boston. I think it really builds a community and a family within our squad.
Just like the football team themselves, the cheerleaders go into hostile stadiums with the crowd working against them every once in a while. When your job is to generate crowd energy, how do you keep your own energy high? That's not a hard question for this squad, as it's a matter of instincts for them.
They just do it.
So if the crowd's really dead, then we got to be like, all right, we got to get the crowd more involved. Or if the football guys are down, we kind of look over and see that they're not having it right now. We know we got to spice it up.
I also think it's important to build each other up, because that's what's going to keep us going for that extended period of time, for that entire game day.
The energy that they bring is just kind of naturally who they are, and the way they act at games. And they do a really good job of keeping the energy up no matter what the outcome of the game is or what the environment feels like.
We're representing an awesome school, an awesome football program, and that to believe in ourselves. We're good cheerleaders, and we want to show off our talent too, despite where we are.
We went to the Duke game this year, and we were really lucky to have a lot of fans and a lot of students out there, and that helps us stay positive and stay encouraging and stay motivated and keep our volume up and get that crowd involvement happening. I feel like the impact we make at away games is a lot bigger because our section is not as vast as the student section and the fan section we have.
Nothing lasts forever, and the season comes to an end. This coach and her squad puts a lot of time in for 12 games a year and make sure to put everything into it so that they can get everything out.
So we've been really preparing for these Saturdays for a really long time because there are so few of them.
I feel like every Saturday is like a golden Saturday.
Always keeping yourself motivated for the next game, but just also thinking of that one game at a time.
We know how valuable those games are, and we make sure that we make the best of those.
I always tell the girls, you're only a Division I college athlete once, and to enjoy every Saturday, every minute of it, even in the weight room or conditioning, enjoy it because it flies by.
This cheer team gets better every week, so keep an eye out for them on the road stadium sidelines.
And with all that school spirit brings us to today's trivia. In what year did Elon athletes first adopt the name Fighting Christians? The answer to that coming up later in the show.
It's time for our first commercial break, but first let's take a look back at the glory days of Fighting Christian football.
This week in Elon sports history, we take a look back at the first ever National Football Championship. The Fighting Christians finished the regular season with a 10-1 record, earning third in the national polls heading into playoff competition. In their first two playoff games, Elon defeated number 2 ranked Concord State, who was undefeated prior to the game, and highly touted East Texas State 14-6 on a last-second goal line stand. The Fighting Christians hosted the championship bowl game at Burlington Memorial Stadium, where they defeated Northeastern State 17-10. Elon's defense again thwarted off another last-second effort from their opponents. Head coach Jerry Tolley was named NAIA Division I National Football Coach of the Year as Elon captured the 1980 NAIA National Football title. And that's this week's look into Elon sports history.
An Elon education is about preparing students for a life of global citizenship. Of course, this is a place where you're going to come and earn a degree, but it's also a place that's going to get you to think very deeply about how you're going to use that degree to make the world a better place.
There are currently over 350 Elon student athletes competing in 16 NCAA Division I sports.
Scholarships enable us to succeed not only on the field,
but also in the classroom.
It helps us in achieving our commitment.
To live the maroon life.
Your gifts have the power to take Phoenix athletics to even greater heights while giving student athletes an outstanding education.
Now the answer to today's trivia. Before the break, we asked, in what year did Elon athletes first adopt the name Fighting Christians? The answer, the fall of 1922. The Fighting Christians spirit represented Elon athletics for the next 80 years.
Women's soccer goalie Kate Murphy has accomplished a lot on the field, but the senior journalism major has also found success away from the net.
Well, I knew that I wanted to do a communications internship. I wasn't sure if it wanted it to be journalism related, or I also have a really strong interest in advertising.
Since day one at Elon, Kate Murphy has started in goal for the women's soccer team. But this past summer, Murphy was given a chance to pursue another passion.
The school communications kind of came to me in the fall and informed me of the News 21 program and kind of just sold it to me. They really advocated that, it would be kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
The internship brought together a diverse group of skill sets of both undergraduate and graduate students. But Murphy held one very unique distinction.
I think I was the only student athlete. There were people that covered sports, but none that actually played themselves.
Murphy interned for News 21 in Phoenix, Arizona the entire summer, but never let soccer out of her thoughts.
It definitely, was throughout my mind the entire summer. That I'd have to prepare myself to get ready for this preseason, and so it definitely took a lot of determination and getting up early before the sun rises in Arizona, because by the time it rises it is hot. It was always in the back of my head that soccer is still really important, and although this is a great academic opportunity, I have responsibilities and other priorities that were going to come into play at the beginning of August.
Many qualities that Murphy developed through soccer served her well this summer.
I think the collaboration piece was one of the most beneficial parts of the entire project, and I think the experience of being on a collegiate competitive Division I soccer team absolutely gave me not only experience, but kind of won a leg up.
Each day was a unique experience. From researching to reporting, Murphy tried it all on her journey across the country.
We also had the opportunity to travel. I went out to Salt Lake City and got to report for News 21 and talk to different people and kind of to make it a story, not just in Phoenix, but we traveled to the majority of states across the country.
The Elon captain, who has seen so much success on the soccer field, this time flourished in a new role.
Seeing where our stuff was published and seeing our stories on NBC and USA Today, and it was so exciting. And I think it just made us feel like everything that we worked so hard in the summer was being recognized. And we know how hard we worked and how many hours we stayed in that newsroom digging through reports and state laws and the multiple phone calls and messages and emails we sent. But to have it be recognized by national media, even on social media, like to have my article be retweeted by 100 different people, it was an awesome feeling. And I know how lucky we were and honored we were to be a part of such an incredible project.
But the entire summer would not have been possible without relentless support from the university.
You're not just here to win them championships. They really want you to excel on the field and off, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that you get to where you want to be after your soccer career.
Kate Murphy has had a passion for soccer since she was young, but soccer will end, and as she pursues her dreams in communications, she hopes sports will always be a part of it.
What I really love doing is telling people's stories and telling it in a way that kind of has more depth to it than just here's what this person did and here's why they think this. If I'm able to do that in a sports atmosphere, that would be awesome. My dream would be to write for Sports Illustrated or ESPN, kind of in depth, like the 30 for 30 or E60 pieces, being able to tell the stories of real people and why their story matters.
Murphy continues to help the soccer team as they finish out the regular season.
Fields, courts, and tracks, where we've grown accustomed to watching Elon athletes compete. But in the 21st century, some Elon students are choosing a different virtual venue to display their skill and creativity.
Coming home and telling your aunts and uncles, oh, what have you been doing in college? Oh, I've been taking these classes, and I'm the captain of our esports team. The what?
So esports is competitive gaming is really the shortest way to explain it. It's usually either computer or console. In America, it's gaining size pretty rapidly.
I was really happy to see that Duke, UNC Wilmington, I think Charlotte has a team, Clemson and South Carolina all have teams, UVA has a team. I honestly was really surprised at the scale of it myself. There's 200, 300 colleges, all of which who have these esports clubs that have 5, 10, however many people, and we think that our college could beat the crud out of your college. You could compare it to like Ultimate Frisbee or rugby. It's the kind of thing that you don't really see enough people interested in it before college or after college. But then in college, that's where people really come together and say, hey, this is awesome. This is a lot of fun. It's really not that hard to get into.
I've heard it equated to NASCAR. People just aren't interested in classifying something as a sport if it doesn't involve some type of ball, it seems.
To compare it to a athletic sport, it's really difficult. But at the same time, you look at what makes an athletic sport. We practice 3 times a week. We play against other schools in best 2 out of 3 conferences. We have to come together, work together, find out what we're good at.
In the competitive environment, it's a lot of communication.
We have a really good side,
so I would kind of equate it to kind of like the communication that you'd hear on the soccer pitch. You have to be able to adjust, communicate with your teammates, the adjustments that you see the opposing team making. You have to be able to take criticism on the fly and hold your emotions down.
Are we athletes? by definition, yes. We, like I said, practice 3 times a week. We have to work together as a team, and if one person's feeling really down and not handling the situation well, then they bring the whole team down.
Elon is come up pretty quickly in the 4 years that I've been here in esports, and esports has grown a lot since I first found out about it. Elon is looking to be competitive. We're looking to break out and make a name for ourselves in the collegiate scene.
We're representing Elon against other colleges every weekend, if not more. When it comes to the next 4 or 5 years, yeah, I'd like to see our esports team grow. I'd like to see practice space. I'd like to see support from students. I'd like to see pretty much legitimacy. I'd like to see us deemed a club sport, if not a full-on sport. In 5 years, 10 years, I would be ecstatic to find out that Elon has decided that esports members are now considered athletes. I'd like to think that we're going to eventually be something that Elon can put on his brochure.
The team hopes to bring glory to Elon and qualify for the North American Collegiate Championship in Los Angeles this spring.
It's time for our final commercial break, but stick around for our exclusive women's basketball season preview.
There are currently over 350 Elon student athletes competing in 16 NCAA Division I sports.
Scholarships enable us to succeed not only on the field,
but also in the classroom.
It helps us in achieving our commitment.
To live the maroon life.
Your gifts have the power to take Phoenix athletics to even greater heights while giving student athletes an outstanding education.
The Elon Phoenix Weekly is made possible by the students of the School of Communications in association with the dedicated coaches, athletes, and staff of Elon Athletics.
We now welcome Matt Krause from WSOE Sports to lead off our women's basketball season preview.
Does Elon basketball have a sleeper in alumni, Jim? The women's team might lose 1,000-point scorer Kelsey Harris, but returns 4 other starters and adds new talent for 2014-2015. Seniors Sam Kofer and Zora Stevenson bring veteran poise and athleticism to the lineup. Kofer, who primarily played the 4 position a year ago, has the ability to both drive to the lane and step out to take a 3. Stevenson is a long-range threat who led the Southern Conference in several three-point shooting categories a year ago. 2 super sophomores return with a year of experience under their belt. Jennifer Rhodes and Lauren Brown were both named to the All-Southern Conference freshman team a year ago. Rhodes is a force in the paint, converting layups with ease with her 6-foot frame. Brown provided a smooth transition at point guard from Elon legend Allie Ford and displayed the maturity needed to run an offense. But Elon has depth too. Junior Jessica Farmer is one of the smoothest jumpers in the game. Senior Shannon Cockram has both size and aggression in the post and has the ability to control the game down low. And 5 newcomers, eligible redshirts Essence Bauckham and Mackenzie Dara, as well as 3 freshmen, will bring new faces and skills to the team. Picked 6th in the CAA, Elon has the talent and experience to make noise in their first season in the league. The season starts November 14th in Alumni Gym against Anderson University. You can catch play-by-play of every game on WSOE 89.3 FM, Elon, Burlington. For WSOE Sports, I'm Matt Krause.
The women's basketball team is coming off of a second-round exit in last year's SoCon tournament, but now are ready to make a good impression in their new conference.
EU on 3, 1, 2, 3. EU!
The women's basketball team comes into the season with new players, a new conference, and new expectations. For the players, they couldn't be more excited, though, to get the season underway.
It's just that itch you get in your fingers when you're super, super excited about something and you can't wait till the first game. Right now we're practicing for a month straight, and I think everyone's just itching to show the community how good we are.
I think coming into the season, everyone is just really excited to see what we can do. We have 3 new freshmen, we have transfer, and we're going into a new conference, so everything kind of feels brand new.
There's a lot of buzz and a lot of excitement. Like, we've heard a lot of the people in the community talking about how excited they are about the team.
Some of that excitement comes from the fact that Elon is now part of the Colonial Athletic Association. The conference change will bring challenges, but according to the team, it's nothing they can't handle.
I think we're mostly confident going into the CAA. I think being the newbies in the conference means that there's no pressure on us. No one maybe really expects us to do big things because we are new. The only people that are expecting us to win the conference is us.
I think the pressure's on everyone else. I think it's exciting to come in to a new facility, go into new gyms, and surprise people. People are going to be underestimating us, and that's awesome.
The thing that we're most excited about is playing different competition. You know, it's new faces, new teams, new systems, new philosophies, so we're super excited about that. And it'll present a challenge as well.
To combat all the new challenges this season, the Phoenix will need a healthy dose of senior leadership from players like Sam Kofer and Zora Stevenson.
People that helped me when I was an underclassman, I always think back to the seniors that were here my freshman year and how great they were to me. Even going back to Allie and Kelsey, how awesome they were in aiding and mentoring everybody, and I just want to be that type of person for my teammates.
When I think about like our team meeting that we had this year, I had the seniors to tell the freshmen, give the freshmen advice. And Sam Kofer, our seniors, the advice that she gave to the freshmen was to come in and try to take someone's spot.
As a senior, I just want to be the best leader that I can be, and I hope to do that by encouraging younger teammates and trying to be a leader on the court by being vocal.
Through all of the new parts of this season, the team will use its chemistry and versatility to carry them throughout.
They're a fun, crazy bunch of girls. I've never seen anyone enjoy being around each other so much. You know, we're asking them, you know, what did you do this weekend? Well, we had a cookout together, we cooked together, we went to the movies together. And I think, you know, with that chemistry being so great off the court, I know that it will definitely have an impact on the court.
This team this year, everyone gets along great. We have a lot of fun in the locker room, just dancing, enjoying each other, and I think that translates over to the court. You know, people are giving each other high fives in practice. People are happy for each other, and I think it's a really good atmosphere that we can do something great with.
If I could put this team into one word, I'd say versatile. We have so many different weapons, so many different types of players, and I think that'll be awesome for the new conference we're going in.
The energy and excitement will be buzzing in Alumni Gym when the team makes its debut in the CAA.
I'm personally excited to see our former host, Zora Stevenson, playing this season.
I'm sure she'll be very impressive as well. If you missed anything or want to watch it again, be sure to check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Elon Phoenix Weekly.
You can also check us out, on demand on Time Warner Cable.
Also, be sure to visit elonphoenix.com. You'll never miss another touchdown, home run, point, or goal. And be sure to tune in next week when we stay up late with the men's and women's basketball teams.
On behalf of our producers and crew here at the show, we hope you continue to have a spectacular weekend.
For the Elon Phoenix Weekly, I'm Tori Baptist.
And I'm Steve Normington. Live the Maroon Life.